First up, if you know, I am Civil War Armchair. My dearest chat.
You better pick the right side of that.
I have been afflicted. I picked the correct side. We're in the North. It's where we belong.
Great North.
The greatest of great Norths. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back. It is. It's been.
Made it back to Canada after your treasonous comments.
I did. I was allowed back in the country without any issue. No issue at all. Nobody said anything to me. Everybody was like, "Yeah, you're fine." It's great. No problem. Thanks for letting me back in. Happy to be home. They gave me a poutine and they sent me on my way. That's how it goes. No, I'm happy to be home. Everyone was afflicted with the plague, the Great Plague of Indianapolis 2026.
Everybody's sick?
Everybody was sick, yeah. Tank was sick.
I feel like everybody everywhere is sick right now. I know so many people that are ill.
I came home and everybody at my work was like, "Oh, it's weird that you got sick. We're also sick." And I was like, "Great."
Sick.
So it's awesome. Everybody is ill. It was a good time, though. We missed having you there, obviously. We'll have to get you onto the next
one. Looked like a blast.
It's a long trip, man. It's a long
trip. You were drinking Gatorade night, too. I was like, they did you dirty.
I didn't stop. That's all I was doing. I think we went through something like 3 or 4 cases of Gatorade. That's all I was doing.
Gotta stay hydrated, brother. Electrolytes.
You're on your feet all day long. You're just humming. You're interviewing GMs and coaches first night. That was fire. Lots of spicy from them. And then the players, and you never know what you're going to get with the players. Sometimes the players are super chill, great, very canned answers, and sometimes
tons of interview questions on our Instagram too. Go check that out.
Yes, a lot of which I asked personally, and then you have Mackay Lemon, that man showed up.
That's a partaker in the Stone Stories.
He is a fan of our Stone Stories.
So
for sure.
I think what happened, and we've all been there, where you take an edible and you're like,
"I'll be fine.
This is fine. Yeah, I'm totally good. I've done this before." And then you get hit with the El Diablo dose, and you go meet the devil, and you're like, "I don't know if I'm ever gonna make it back to the real world." And that was where Mackay Lemon was. The fact that he was able to answer all of the questions that he did, I did see that his one-on-one interviews were an absolute disaster from what I heard. Not fantastic, but he answered the questions competently. he didn't. If you didn't see his face, you wouldn't know that he was a wicked high guy at the combine. But
he knew where he was, but his body did not know. His brain knew where he was. His body did not know where he was, and he was
moving back and forth. He was all of it.
It was this one for me. The eyes down, trying to look over his he had glasses
at that point
on.
I would have just worn shades and just eaten the comments and questions about ego and things like that. I would have just I was just wearing sunglasses inside. Actually, has nothing to do with anything else, and you shouldn't investigate further.
Shador would have.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Shador did it last year. Obviously, it did not help his draft stock, but
no. Lots of people could have done this. It was great. Met some good friends from Cleveland. Shout out to the SB Nation writers, Jared from Cleveland, who covers the Browns for SB Nation. He was a cool guy. He hung out with us for a bit. Got to see our good buddy Logan from the Washington Commanders, Logan Paulson, the former tight end, NFL tight end, great guy. Jason, also with the Commanders. We saw a ton of people. But I think I put out something like 98 pieces of content while I was there.
Fuck yeah.
So it was a busy week. Got to see Kenyon Sadiq absolutely destroy the combine. Guy's a dog. Sonny Styles, have yourself a day. My favorite moment was Jeremy learning that Sonny Styles' brother, Lorenzo Styles, was also running in the combine. And he was like, "No, it's just his nickname." And I was like, "No, they're two different people."
I learned that as well.
Well, everybody learned that because Lorenzo Styles has, and I'm pretty sure this is accurate, 54 career tackles, and he transitioned from, I think he has something like 30 or 40 career catches as a wide receiver. He has no business being at the combine, but he ran real fast. So like, sure, let him
It's
be there,
also
I guess.
funny. I forget who it was that burst into tears after their run.
I think it was Jeremiah Love.
That's who I thought it was too, but I didn't want to be wrong. It's wild that like you ran 40 yards in 4 seconds and your entire life has changed. You're able to get your family out of the fucking ghetto. Like,
It's crazy.
absolutely life changing money just because you ran fast.
I
And
mean, Jeremiah
it's
Love
not
was going
like,
to
oh,
be,
you dusted everybody. It's like, well, I ran half a second faster than the next guy.
yeah, Jeremiah Love was going to, he's going to feed fantasy teams for sure. He's going early. Um,
Saints.
Mike Washington, I don't think the Saints are going to take him. There's been, so we'll get into this a little bit. We're not going to do, and obviously we're not the mock draft guys.
No, go
We
to the
do
Sportsocracy for that.
we do fantasy drafts
It's
because they're
Jeremy's
fun.
neighborhood.
Fantasy is my neighborhood, and Dub's place in the fantasy and gambling world. So you want to talk about fantasy impact? We'll talk about fantasy impact. Mock draft's not really our thing. However, I will say Jeremy called the trade we had today. We had a trade today for Trent
Was
McDuffie.
that today?
Yep.
Jesus Christ,
Yep.
what a long day.
Yep.
I thought that was yesterday
Nope.
already.
Called the Trent McDuffie trade, which is amazing. And then on top of that, we were both standing about 15 feet from Veach when he was doing his media availability, talking about how they're going to be more explosive in the run. So don't be surprised if Kansas City goes Love. And if Kansas City can't get Love,
Doesn't shock me either.
they will very happily take a Sonny Styles or whoever's left.
Those two teams are the ones for me. I also wouldn't be shocked if they go corner now after the McDuffie trade.
And then it's Mansour Delane, which
Correct.
would be the easy answer there. So I think
steal them from the Bengals. The Bengals are at 10, right?
The Bengals are at 10, and
yeah, you just swipe them from Cincinnati. You go,
Bengals,
fuck you, Joe Burrow.
Bengals will likely go with like one of the Caleb Downs kind of picks. I think is what we're. I think that I can map out your
Caleb
top.
Downs would be nasty in Cincinnati.
I think your top two are for sure. I think you get Mendoza at 1. That has been the consensus for a while. I don't necessarily think he's a first round talent, but he is the best quarterback in this class, and good for him. He'll go to the Raiders and learn all about things that he had never seen in his life before. That'll be exciting for him. And then all sorts of new life experiences. And then
the Bible camp kid that gets absolutely obliterated on fucking initiation week.
Just bring him to LA. We'll just take him for a walk around Los Angeles for a bit. All right, Fernando, this is Skid Row. You meet me on the other end. We'll talk after that. And then I think it's David Bailey at 2. Jeremy's been feeling. Everybody thought it was going to be Arvell Reese, but Bailey had one hell of a combine. I think that pushed his stock up into a place where that's likely what's going to happen. Also, the trade kind of made it. The Jets also obviously made a trade last week, bringing in Sweat. And that's like, it just makes sense. And then after that, it could be any number of things. The Cardinals could trade down. The Cardinals could take Arvell Reese then, and that leaves a whole lot of spicy things to happen in between. Like Dub said, you want to check out some mock drafts, you go to the Sportsocracy. Jeremy will have 100 more before this is all said and done. Once free agency hits, he'll have more.
How long was the other one? 6 hours?
6 hours. Yeah. Built different.
I didn't get to watch it like live at all, and I saw it posted on my YouTube subscriptions. I was like, God damn, that's about 3 hours longer than I thought it was going to be.
That's about 3 hours longer than we thought it was going to be. But it went. So yeah. Anyone?
Shout out to Buddy out in the Ozarks just dropping fucking cash on you guys the other night too. That was 100% laundering. He's like, I'm a vet. I don't believe him. If he is, fucking appreciate your service, brother. But
It
I
felt
know drug
strange.
money when I see it.
It felt super strange, and maybe it's because nobody sends us super chats like that. Like we'll get the occasional super chat or a chat that drops in, but no, like nothing like that. Nothing
No.
anywhere near like that's.
That guy busted into the YouTube stream with a black card and said, this is my stream now.
That guy had a couple of beverages and decided he was going to purchase the stream.
Yeah. That was either drug money or somebody on their parents' credit
Hey,
card who's just like, no, I don't care. I don't know what
listen,
$100 is.
listen. This isn't Little St. James here. You can't just come in with a bunch of money
I
and
want
buy us.
Sportsocracy
Okay.
subscriptions and fucking V-Bucks.
Christ. Yeah. Anybody catch your eye at the combine that you were like, that's going to be a guy for the Patriots? Because all of our stuff is like day 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've like the positions that I want are not flashy aside from receiver, and
Yeah.
there's so many good receivers. I feel like it's just a dart throw as to which one you end up with. I don't think there's anybody that like. All the guys that jumped out to me are going to be long gone before 31.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah,
They do have a lot of picks.
or they're like at a position that I didn't that we don't really need.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
but
mean,
I mean, if you want to go into Patriots, you want to talk cuts, tags, and whatnot.
let's start talking cuts. There were a lot of cuts today, actually.
Because position of need is now number one is wide receiver.
Well, we didn't, and then we did.
Yep.
If you haven't seen the news, you can check it out on the Grey North Instagram or Facebook page, where I always post the good shit. Stephon Diggs to be released at start of league year.
It was expected.
So I don't know how you feel about this. I'm really torn about it because on the one hand, I get it. Like
It's
this
a
was a
it
business
had to have
decision.
been done. We talked about this last week. There's a deadline on it. If it wasn't done by next week, we would have had to pay him $6 million, regardless if you cut him or not. So it had to be done before that. I still don't think the door is entirely closed on him coming back on
No.
a reduced contract, but it's not likely in my mind. This to me makes me think that we're going to either free agency, to Alec Pierce, Mike Evans, whatever that might be, or 31 is going to be a receiver, which is the option I would prefer personally.
Well, let's talk about the Alex Pierce thing for a little bit because I think that I am concerned as a
I like
Patriots fan.
Alec Pierce.
Do you like him for the money he's going to get in free agency?
I
Because
do not.
he is. Tell me he's not the number one wide receiver prospect right now, or
He is, and
free
he's going to
agent.
get a he's going to get a bag.
Yeah,
He was also a number 3 option last year.
I know. The Patriots need a 1. They need a 1. Who is that?
Listen, I like Alec Pierce. I think he's a good player. I think
Me too.
if you gave him more targets in Indianapolis, maybe you would have been thinking a little bit. I mean, he was 1,000-yard receiver last year.
I know.
You can't take that away from him. Like he's going to get a bag. He was any other receiver that gets 1,000 yards. Wan'Dale Robinson, same thing. He's not a number 1. He's going to get paid like one.
He sure is. He sure is going to get paid like one.
It's just not. I can't pay him that money and then have him come in and be a 2 or be a 3. Like if I'm giving you that money, I need you to be a bona fide 1, and I just don't. I think he's a step below that. I think he's in that tier of like Jacoby Myers. They're different receivers. Like
Of course.
they don't have the same play style at all. But as far as like production and talent goes, like that's kind of where I slot him, not as a true number 1.
My concern is that they go ahead and they give him all this cash, and then he turns out to be a number 2,
And then you look around your receiver room and it's Kayshon Boutte, Alec Pierce, Pop Douglas, Mac Hollins, and it's like that. None of that scares you.
No, none of it does.
That's probably the worst receiver room in the league.
Well, that's the issue.
That's
right?
no slight to those guys, but like you have to have a number 1 to be truly successful in this league.
It just doesn't give you what you want, right? You're not in a position where you can really do much about it. You got to pay one of those guys. The Mike Evans one is interesting a little bit to me.
For sure. But we just did this with Chris Godwin. We offered him a fucking bag and he was like, "Nah, I'm good."
But that bothers me because I don't want to offer him a bag. What I want is I want him to come and I don't even know if I want Mike Evans.
I take him on a 1 or 2 year deal, but then
I
like we're just basically doing the same thing. How
we
much
just doing
better?
Diggs. Yeah.
Exactly. How much better is that really that much of an upgrade?
No, no, it's not.
Mike Evans was out half the year. At least Stephon Diggs was healthy. I could
Diggs
count on
was
him to be on
healthy
the field every
and
week, regardless of what the production looks like.
he was healthy and he performed. And I think that's the thing. Is I look at it and I
1,000
go,
yards.
was that that's our first, right? Our first 1,000 yard receiver in
Yeah, in like
where
6 years, I think, 6 or 7.
yeah, I don't get it. It kind of bothers me, to be honest with you. I'm like, why are we?
That means you're repurposing it somewhere, which makes me like. And now that we're going through the free agency options, like, are they really that much an upgrade over Diggs? No, so they have to be making a trade.
Yeah. Who's the target?
And you know who that's going to
Is
be.
that AJ?
Of course it is.
Isn't that kind of an issue?
I don't love it.
Yeah.
If he gets here and completely flips the fucking attitude and we get, AJ Brown from the first 4 years where you don't really hear shit about him.
Yeah. So like right now, so receiver number 1 is Carnell Tate. He'll be gone.
Long gone.
Jordan Tyson should probably also be gone. He'll be gone in the team. Mekhi Lemon, he'll be gone. Even with the poor combine performance or the poor combine interview performance, but the combine interviewings. Denzel Boston, another legit wide receiver threat, probably gone. If he is there, he's the one that I want because he's a dog.
Concepcion.
Concepcion doesn't like to get hit.
I'm just looking at receivers that
It's
are projected around that.
It's Ted Hurst. That would be your answer. Who I like. He's a big guy. He's not particularly fast. He ran a 4.42. Take that.
I've been saying for weeks that a trade is coming from the Patriots. We have way too many late round picks. We have salary. Something's coming. What position group? I don't know. But the fact that they cut Diggs and let him walk, now I'm almost 100% convinced it's going to be receiver. And then you're looking at AJ Brown or DJ Moore, really.
Yeah.
Unless like something comes completely out of the blue, which doesn't particularly happen all that often.
So if you had your preference, is it AJ Brown with a flipped script here? Is that what you're looking for?
I don't believe that that's going to happen. Like, I don't think he's going to come here and do a complete 180. If that's the case, then yeah, that's the best case scenario. But his off the field stuff worries me. Just the demeanor. Yeah, like I can't have you fucking up the locker room because we were carried by the power of friendship this year.
Everybody was in a good mood all the time. Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
Team was super gelled. Everybody liked each other. It was a really close-knit group, and that gets you places. If you have 1 or 2 people in the locker room that are a cancer, that shit spreads.
Yeah. That's no good.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to do that to my third-year quarterback who's coming off, honestly, a pretty abysmal playoff run after a really good season.
Yeah,
I think your mic's rubbing in your beard.
Oh, sorry. Shouldn't be. It's nowhere near it. What was I hitting?
No. It sounded like it.
Well, listen. It is what it is. I apologize. I just want a good season out of these guys. They just went to a Super Bowl. Obviously, the goal here is to get back, right? It's not to take time off. And
a much harder schedule this year.
Yeah,
you don't play the Titans, the Saints, the fucking.
But like, you got to be able to get
Jets. You still get the Jets twice.
You get the Jets twice. You get the Jets twice. The Dolphins are going to be abysmal. You get them twice. That's going to be that's potentially 4, and then you're still going to have some easy games. It's just you're probably not going to walk to 13 wins. That's all. It's going to be a harder schedule, but I still think you've got the team to do it. Plus, if Will Campbell can figure out how to plant his feet instead of trying to, I saw a podcast with Joe Thomas on it, talking about what he was doing wrong, and it was like
I actually saw that.
Where he's like, see his back foot, it's not planted when he makes contact, it's sweeping it up. Then he loses all his leverage. He's like, oh, so it's really that easy. He just has to get his feet planted and he's fine. It's not a weight room issue. It's nothing else.
Was talking about that on the show I did last weekend. Like, I'm not out on Will Campbell. I think he's gonna be just fine.
He'll be fine.
Pre-injury, he had one game that was under 70 for PFF, which obviously isn't the end all be all, but it's a pretty good indicator of like,
it's a great.
Are you doing good? Are you doing all right?
Yep. I think
he was perfectly solid until he got hurt.
Yep, I agree. All the draft stuff obviously coming up. We're gonna be there. Yeah. I mean,
I could be there.
I think you should be there.
Then I'll be there.
I'll be there. 100%. I'll be there. I got to close. They gave me the
only
same
thing
color
stopping
again.
me is a plane ticket, brother.
So we got to. We'll get you on that. And
conquerable.
That's right. You're gonna have Dubs an armchair in Pittsburgh. Christ. All right.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Men on the street doing interviews.
Complete sidebar. I'm sorry. I mean, I figure we're actually no. We got a little bit more football to talk to. But did you see the White House video they posted today?
No.
It's wild. Go to my Twitter. I reposted something about it. We'll go through a couple more of the cap things now. But they did a Call of Duty edit with like actual footage posted from the legit White House account, Instagram, Twitter. They put it everywhere. Wild time. Right. Wild time to be alive. Some other cap casualties and whatnot. Jawan Taylor cut by the Chiefs. That will save them about $20 million. They also renegotiated Patrick Mahomes' contract. So I kind of expect them to be big buyers in free agency. Mm-hmm. Bobby Okereke cut by the Giants. He's a guy that I would be looking into if I was the Patriots, as long as the price is right. Linebacker, I feel like I'm one of the only people talking about it. I never really see it as like a main need. But the second Spillane went down, we got exposed in the linebacking.
Pass rush is a need.
For sure. I'm not even talking about pass rush. I'm talking about
off ball, on ball,
in general. Give me linebackers. If they use 2 picks in the draft on linebackers, I would not be upset, whether it's an edge or an off-ball guy, whatever it may be. When Spillane was out, it fucking hurt, and I would not be upset to replace Jack Gibbons. He had a solid season, but Bobby Okereke was absolutely an upgrade.
I like Gibbons. I still think you can keep Gibbons and get Okereke.
For sure, but I'm just saying we need
more linebackers. Give me
depth,
more linebackers.
Depth. Mekhi Becton cut by the Chargers. That was an obvious one. Free money.
Let's give a Plausel here to Mr. Hoffman, who has got his free membership in there again. Hey Matt, appreciate you, brother. It's F1 time, buddy. Matt. F1 and baseball. So we'll be back on the
March Madness coming up too. Money making time.
Madness. It's time to get back on the train. I hope you're doing well, brother. Haven't heard much from you, but appreciate you always.
Always. Shout out Welch and Toothy in the chat too. Appreciate that.
We always appreciate that. Hell
yeah. Vikings are expected to release Jonathan Allen due to salary cap constraints, per sources, after trading for him last offseason. Did not work out.
No franchise tag for Kenny Walker. Don't know what that's going to look like.
Probably a Viking. We'll see. I don't know. The Vikings are 40+ million over the cap right now. They don't have a quarterback.
Do you want to talk about the tag that I think is most interesting that nobody's really talking about? You know what kind of franchise tag they placed on Breece Hall?
Was it? It wasn't a transition tag.
It wasn't a transition, but it was the one where you can match.
Oh yeah.
So any team can actually put an offer on Breece Hall, and the Jets have the chance to match.
I would assume the Chiefs would go after him.
Well, it costs you 2 picks.
On him at the deadline.
Well, says Seahawks are looking at Algier. I think that's a smart play for them.
Algier and Charbonnet, the fucking vultures.
The touchdown vultures. Who's gonna steal it, man? I mean, that's not the worst. It's not the worst. It'd be fine. I mean, you still have Sammy D. You still have JSN. You still have your wide receiving core. You're set. I don't think you need Kenny. I know Kenny Walker's the Super Bowl MVP. People are like, "You're going to release the Super Bowl MVP?" Well, I mean, he's going to cost $1 billion, so probably. Maybe we got to figure out how to make some salary cap adjustments here.
If the Seahawks get Algier and Charbonnet, they're gonna have like a Reservoir Dogs type standoff every single time they get down to the red zone.
Every single time they get to the red zone. Are you interested in Kenny Walker?
I'm fine with our running backs.
I love our running back.
I love Kenny Walker, but
I love our running back.
I'm not breaking the bank to go sign any running backs. You can pretty much pick any up off the scrap heap and be fine.
I would like them to get a wide receiver, and again, that's the only thing I care about right now. Yeah, Rams look like they're going all in on 26.
Does it feel like Stafford's last season? Because it feels like Stafford's last season.
Too bad he's playing on a conference where he's not going to be able to beat anybody. I mean, they got McDuffie. That helps a lot, but that doesn't.
It's a huge trade for them because their secondary was pretty good last year, but they didn't have a true like number one corner, and now they do.
Was it pretty good?
Now you look at their defense.
Yes,
I think so. I think that defense is pretty fucking good. You have a guy at every single level now.
You do, but I just want to put it out there that like there were awful games for them.
For sure.
Like it's not like they were like
you got lit up by Bryce Young twice, kind of.
They allowed 30 to Young, they allowed 31 to the Seahawks in the conference championship game. They allowed 20 points to the Cardinals with nobody. They allowed 27 on the Falcons.
Hold on, the Cardinals were putting up fucking numbers once Jacoby took over. Put some respect on them.
Falcons, they lost. They lost that game. They put up 27. They let Seattle put up 31. The Lions put up 34 in a losing effort against them. It's like the Panthers beat them again, 31-28. I mean, they had like 2 games where they kept people shut out. Like they had they beat the Buccaneers 34-7. That's a good game. And in October they beat the Giants 5-7. Otherwise, they got on a pretty regular. Like they were not stopping anything. People were defense. I mean, I just didn't see it. I felt like they were always beatable. You know?
I think this fixes a ton of problems for them. I'm pretty confident.
% brother. Appreciate you. You know where to find me. You get me.
Facts. Appreciate you hopping. Wish you the best, man.
I'm excited to see where free agency goes. I'm excited to see what happens with it because once the free agents start dropping, that's when we know what the team is going to look like.
Monday, brother.
We're so close. We had franchise tag pandemonium, which is great, but now we're onto the real shit, and then it's draft time. Once we see
where's
the free
Kyler
agents,
going?
The Jets.
I think so too. I think the only other 2 places I could see him are like, I guess 3. I'll say Atlanta, Miami, and Minnesota.
Yes, I agree.
Because if you're Minnesota, you have to put another quarterback in the room. You can't go in just being like, yeah, 9's the guy.
Welch says Rams are going to have to draft off ball. Probably. I mean, I
think that's really the only place they don't have a guy. Welch. Yeah. I think other than that, defense, like you have Jared Verse. The landman fucking showed up last year. Now you got Trent McDuffie. Cam Curl was solid. Why am I forgetting the other safety's name? But he was Lake. He was also really good last year.
Yep.
Minnesota Jets, Pittsburgh. Yeah, see, like every person has like 1 or 2 that are like 1 or 2 destinations that are different, but the Jets are there every time, which makes me think it's just going to be the Jets. You go from Justin Fields to Kyler Murray, and you just kick the can down the road.
We have Justin Fields at home, which is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray and Justin Fields. I don't know why you want.
Yuck.
I don't know why you want that. Whatever, man. You do you.
Something about him going to Minnesota would be funny to me too.
Yes.
Like just going from Arizona to Minnesota is just absolute extremes.
I think Pittsburgh is going to be out because they're going to wait on Aaron to take 400 years to make a decision. I think if this plays out like it did last year, where they're just like, All right, like you're gonna do it though, right? Like you promise you're not just making us wait all this time, and then you're gonna pull out and run for like state senator or something. Because that would be the Aaron Rodgers thing to do, right? Like pretend he's gonna
Yeah,
sign with a football team, and then be like, never mind, I'm gonna
that or
run. I'm gonna run for mayor of like Pawtucket or something. Like he's
drugs.
yes. I want to see him like run for mayor in some shitty small town in
I don't really
Maine.
want to see him anymore.
Put him in no. I want him in a small town in Maine. Just like
That's
tuck
too
him into the
close to me.
woods. All right, fine. Vermont.
That's even closer.
It's
I
not
mean, it depends
even
where, I
close.
guess, but
Yeah, if we put him in the north of Maine, it's not that close. It's a big
I
state.
want him in like a foreign country. I want him gone.
Ayatollah.
Just anywhere.
Send
Anywhere
him,
that's not here.
we send him to Iran to take over. He's the new Shah. Different.
I was
coaching
thinking the
staff,
same
McCarthy,
thing. Well,
you
it's
think
like
you're
McCarthy
probably
knows
right.
Rodgers real well. He's not going to play games. Like, are you in or are you not?
I would love for them to be like, yeah, you gonna sign or not? And he's like, I need to think about it. And they're like, yeah, we're not
All
gonna
right.
wait. I'm gonna go get this guy. He's ready now.
Yeah, you think about it and hit up a different team because I'm not playing that game.
The only thing that gives me pause on Kyler to the Jets is that today I saw a report that the Jets were also sniffing around
He also makes sense
at
in
Tua
Minnesota.
Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
I would love that
Was
so
that
much.
Dolphins tweet real? Was that a real thing?
No, that was.
I didn't think so. I was like,
was
"There's no fucking
It was
chance."
so
I
good.
was busy at work when you sent it, and I was like, "I can't verify that right now." But
No,
there's no fucking way they did that.
no, but that would have been funny. Hey, here's to you, buddy.
Our special guy.
He was great. I mean, look, if you're the Jets, you've got a couple of options out there. None of them are great. You're clearly banking on another poor season and hoping for a 2027 quarterback of that class that's actually good.
If
This
I was
quarterback class
quarterback
is not
needy,
that.
there's no fucking reason to draft a quarterback this year. Fucking run it back next year and just
Which is
get back
why
in the top 10.
Welch, that is the truest statement ever, and we need to put it on a shirt. I'm going to put it on a Great North shirt that just says "Jets gonna jet," because everybody says it, everybody knows it to be true. Is one of the true like
Jets gonna
sayings in
jet,
the
and it's
world.
that kid who had the fucking viral video last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
They found him after the game, and he's like, I'm never gonna leave, but
But this is the worst day of my life. Everything is miserable, and I hate it. Think the Jets are still paying Aaron? Yes, they're still paying everybody. They're not good. They're not a good organization. All right, you got everybody covered on our cutty cuts. We got a little bit of
yeah.
All right. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball rotations, but first,
We going late?
we're going. Well, we're going to have to go late. We started way late.
All right, let's do it.
We're
good.
Formula One is back this weekend. We're finally back. Racing is back.
Albert Park.
Australia, down under. I'm not giving you an Aussie accent because that's disrespectful. The
We do
Steelers
Australian accents to the plants at work.
Steelers are releasing Jonnu Smith. Oh no. Anyway.
That's right. He'll go somewhere else and be an absolute value for first touchdown.
Yes, he will. The F1 circuit, the season gets back underway. Brand new regulations, new cars, new motors. I have a lean.
New team.
I have a new team on the grid. I have a lean on the early season for your first race. If you want it, I will give it to you for the low price of free, making sure you're subscribed and liking this particular video. Mercedes is the team to beat this year.
Yep.
George
I have
Russell.
5 predictions for the season too.
George Russell will win the drivers' championship.
Got him in second.
Do you?
Yep.
And the worst car on the grid is going to be the poor Fernando. It's poor Fernando.
It's bad.
Fernando's car is so bad.
They're part of my 5 predictions.
Adrian Newey is not used to designing cars this way. Usually he has a car, then he gets an engine.
He can't fix a Honda engine.
This year he got an engine, and he's like, I
yeah.
don't know what to do with this. What do
it's
I?
Like I don't know what the fuck that thing is.
How do I design a car around this? So, they're not in good shape. They're not in good shape. What do you got?
F1's not a sport that you can tank either.
No, you don't get good draft picks later on. You do get more tunnel time and more design time, but like it doesn't. Sick. It only helps you if you know what to do with it.
We're all after more tunnel time in the end.
Everybody wants a little tunnel time. Hashtag more tunnel time. All right, what do you got? F1 predictions.
I got 5 for you. It's not super crazy, but Kimi Antonelli is going to win his first race this year, going along with your Mercedes being at the top of the grid.
Yep.
I think he was very solid in his rookie year. Even going back to Australia last year in the rain, the opener, he had a top 5 finish. He had 2 second places last year. He's legit. He's going to be, and if they have a better car than last year, woo boy.
Yeah.
Audi and Cadillac earned points before Aston Martin.
Yes.
Cadillac's not necessarily a new team, but the car was not very good the last few seasons.
Nope.
I think Aston Martin is that bad right now with that power unit that they're
awful.
Yeah, they're going to be at the back of the pack.
Yep.
I think Audi is decent enough. Like they're going to get points. They're going to be in the mid tier somewhere.
Yep.
I don't think quite at the top, but I do think both of those teams are going to be ahead of Aston Martin, at least at some point. Maybe not by the end. If Newey gets the mid-season upgrades and whatnot. McLaren finishes last in the top 4 teams.
Yep.
I think it's going to be. I think Mercedes gets the drivers' championship. Red Bull and Ferrari are back and forth, and the McLaren is 4. Right. Isaac Hadjar is canned at some point this year for either Lawson or Lindblad. I don't think that might be the least bold prediction because Red Bull loves to shuffle the deck.
Heck yeah, they do.
Yeah, so I think whoever's doing better once Hadjar has a nightmare performance, that's who's next in the car, whether it's Lawson a second time or they give Lindblad a shot. But they're constantly looking for a second driver behind Max, and they just can never do it. How long has this been? It's basically been since Drive to Survive. Like they fired Ricardo and just never recovered.
Never recovered. Never came close to recovering, actually.
And then my final prediction, Max beats George Russell in the championship final weeks. It might be coming down to the last race.
I like it. I'm fine with
that. To piggyback off that, if Max wins, I think he's out.
I also think he's out.
He's going to retire. Whenever he wins his next title, he's done.
Yeah, I think you're right. He doesn't seem all that interested in doing much of anything, to be honest.
No, he doesn't, and he's not a guy who's not going to go out on top.
He's kind of struck me as funny. I think when he was younger, before he had his kid, he was like, I just race. I just keep winning and winning and winning. And now he's kind of like, I don't really give a shit about winning. I've already won all the things I can win. Like they can never take away that he's a 4-time.
He also won the lady he had his kid with. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
The other Red Bull driver's wife before his.
Yeah. He just won. He wins every day. He's winning, and I think he's looking at it now, and he's like, I've got all the money I could ever need. There's no like extra glory in beating Hamilton. He's got 4. Like, how many more champions? Like, he's already looked at as one of the greatest of all time.
If you get 5 and retire almost a decade before Hamilton or Schumacher, you're regardless, you're going to have a GOAT case because people are going to be like, well, he could have won 2 more.
Could have, but he didn't because he didn't want to do it. Yeah, I think that's awesome. Good for him if he does it. Look how amazing would that be?
I thought it was going to happen last year. If he stole, we were talking about that towards the end of the year. If he stole it from McLaren and won, he was going off in the sunset.
He absolutely was. I think if you're looking at finishing position wagers, I would look to put your Mercedes drivers in the top 10. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lewis and Charles also both in the top 10. And then you can probably parlay that with one of,
Charles is my dark horse pick
yeah,
for winning this race.
I would
He was the
say,
fastest in their final testing.
I think you go those four in all those four top 10 finishes, and you can adjust it as you want. And then you can probably do um, a fifth pick of a person, anyone. You
Yeah.
pick any
If
driver,
you are looking
finish
for
it.
a dark horse for this weekend, I would pick something now because the first practice is tomorrow and odds are going to flip crazy.
They are going to flip crazy. If you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord. That's what I know in there. It's an early race too. Like it's a Saturday night here.
Yeah, it's 11 p.m. Saturday night,
Yeah,
Eastern Standard.
it's a so if you're used to the Sundays, just remember it'll be earlier. All right, let's get some rotation rankings. We did rotations last week,
2 weeks ago
2 weeks ago, and then I was
for
gone
the AL.
for the AL, and now we are on to the National League side. What do you got?
I think the first three are they might be the bottom three rotations in the MLB. They're bad. Like, I think I had the White Sox and the A's as 15 and 14 for the
Yes, you
AL.
did.
I think both of those are better than all three of these.
Yep,
First up, you have the Rockies. Just automatically, they're going to be here no matter what. The
not a good
last
team.
time they had a team ERA below 5 was in 2021. Kyle, it's where semi-decent pitchers go to die.
Yep,
Like they're always going to overpay guys like Kyle Freeland and Mike Lorenzen just to get people in the rotation. Like they have to throw 9 innings a game at least. Like they have to have warm bodies.
they do.
Sagana, horrible with the Orioles. They're like, you know where you're gonna go?
Colorado.
Colorado, brother. Have fun.
Hope you like Pueblo Peppers,
Yeah.
Amigo.
Hope you're not looking at your stats all that often, because they're gonna be bad. It's just inherent. You can't. It's science. You cannot be a good pitcher in Colorado.
Hope you enjoy the Rocky.
14, I've got the Washington Nationals. They've got Cade Cavalli, who's one of their younger arms. Hopefully, he's able to take a step forward for them this year. Signed Miles Michaelis on February 11th. Gets a veteran presence in the rotation because most of it after that is a lot of unproven arms like Jake Irvin, Foster Griffin, who's just in Japan for the last 3 years. Brad Lord, Josiah Gray, who's a top prospect for them but can never really stay healthy. Not a whole lot going on that rotation either. Then you go over to the Cardinals, which much like the Brewers are going to be the Red Sox Midwest edition. St. Louis has two arms on their five projected here that I think are somewhat decent. You have something with that's Matthew Liberatore and Michael McGreevy.
Yep.
Two young arms have top of the rotation potential, but really haven't just put it together for a full year yet. But I mean, who knows? It's baseball. The other two guys, Richard Fitz, my guy, Mr. Dick Fitz himself, Hunter Dobbins, both acquired from the Red Sox in the Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras deals. I think those two guys are their third and fourth best starters when you look at any guy they can put in there.
Yeah.
Hunter Dobbins was actually pitching incredibly well before he got hurt for us. He was consistent every fifth start or every fifth day, excuse me, and he wasn't going a ton of innings. It was like 4, 5, 6 innings every time, but it was a low ERA. He was getting strikeouts. I had full confidence when Hunter Dobbins was on the mound. And Dick Fitz was just a victim of the home run ball. He'd give up a walk, a hit, and then a home run, and all of a sudden you've given up three in the fucking inning, and that's no way to get quality starts. But I do have confidence in both of those guys, and they're certainly better than Dustin May and Andre Palante and whatever else they're going to put out there.
Right.
12, I got the Marlins. It's Sandy Alcantara, Yuri Perez, and not a whole lot else. They traded Edward Cabrera and Ryan Weathers in the offseason, which those guys ate up a lot of innings for them. Edward Cabrera was fantastic for them last season.
Yeah.
Sandy really sucked the first half of the year, but that's been pretty consistent for guys that are coming off the surgery he was. If you can build on a strong second half, that's a true ace for that team. And then if Yuri Perez can emerge as the two, sort of like how Edward Cabrera did last year, you got guys with Max Meyer, Braxton Garrett, who was good in 2024, then spent a lot of, I think the entire year last year hurt. Jansen Junk was decent, which is just a fantastic pitcher name. That's like a backyard baseball name.
That is a backyard baseball name.
Jansen Junk on the rubber.
On the mound.
Um, and to add to Max Meyer, I think he can be a solid 3. He'll have 3 runs or fewer 7 times last year, 4 runs or fewer 9 times. Lots of starts for him. I think the Marlins rotation is one that if we did this midseason could slide up to like the 7-8 spot in the NL.
Yep.
11, I've got the Pirates, which I don't feel great about it. Paul Skeens is far too good to be like, oh yeah, I'm on the 11th rotation in the National League, but it's the guys after him. Mitch Keller was solid last year. He eats a ton of innings. Bubba Chandler is the number 11 overall prospect, but it's the flip side. Like Paul Skeens is going to be a Cy Young candidate, if not just outright win it, because that's what he does.
Yep.
But if Mitch Keller for some reason went down or regresses or they end up trading him mid-season, what's the back half of that rotation look like? Bubba Chandler obviously has a ton of potential, but he's not proven yet. Braxton Ashcraft and Jose Urquidy, like those are 4s and 5s. And really not a ton of depth either. When Jared Jones comes back, I'd feel a little bit better about the rotation, but
for sure.
10, I've got the Padres. I don't love this. I feel like I'm probably lower on them than most people.
Right.
Nick Pivetta, former Red Sox, like I like that guy. I think he's a solid 2 or 3. He had a fantastic year last year, so if you want to call him an ace, I'm cool with that. Michael King and Joe Musgrove are sort of in that 2 and 3 range. King keeps the ERA down, not a ton of strikeouts, but they retained him. He was a guy that I was 100% sure was going to go somewhere else in free agency and ended up sticking around on a deal. And then Randy Vasquez and Herman Marquez are basically the same exact player. I don't love the Padres rotation, and they really don't have a ton of depth behind that. But their lineup is so good, and their bullpen is absolutely filthy. So
yeah,
rotation might not matter a whole lot for them, but that's all we're ranking. So number 9 is the D-backs. I went back and forth with the Padres on this one. I just think the D-backs at full health is a better rotation because if you bring Corbin Burns back, Merrill Kelly isn't ready to go for opening day. But if you have a 1-2-3 of Corbin Burns, Zach Gallen, a revised Zach Gallen, not the one that we got last year, that imposter, and Merrill Kelly, that's solid. And then you still have Eduardo Rodriguez for a lefty, Michael Soroka, like Brendan Pfaadt, some guys that have pitched well in the past, 3s, 4s, and 5s.
Yeah.
They could be a lot higher on this list if everyone was there from the get-go.
I think so.
Number 8, I've got the San Francisco Giants. Logan Webb and Robbie Ray are about as good of a 1-2 as you'll find around the league. Probably both be all-stars. Tyler Mahle was fantastic for the Rangers last year. Adrian Hauser had a bit of a redemption arc last year. I think this rotation's slightly underrated. I've seen people being like, the rotations are not very good outside Webb and Ray. I think it's fine.
I agree.
They're another team that doesn't have a ton of depth, but if those guys can pitch the way they did last year, no worries there. Plus, you're in a pitcher-friendly ballpark.
That helps a lot.
7, I've got the New York Mets. They traded for an ace, which saved them big time. They would have been down towards they probably would have been just above the Cardinals, honestly. It probably would have been 12.
Yeah.
Freddie Peralta changes the tide for them for sure. They've not been shy about a 6-man rotation in the past, particularly early in the season while people get their arms adjusted. They have guys behind the 5 like Jonah Tong, Christian Scott, Tobias Myers, but a 5 of Peralta, McLean, Holmes, Manea, and David Peterson, and you have Kodai Senga. It's fine. I think it's perfectly average.
I would agree. They spent their money elsewhere, but they're good.
6 through 3, you could put in any order to me, and I wouldn't argue it a bit. This was the hardest part of the list for me. 6, I went with the Reds, but not again, I've waffled on this all day. I now that I'm looking at them, I should have had them higher. Hunter Green is a legitimate top 5
Love
arm
Hunter
in the
Green.
NL. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Andrew Abbott really solidified himself last year as a number 2. Nick Lodolo, Brady Singer, and then you're going to have a competition between first round picks Chase Burns and Rhett Lauder for that last spot in the rotation. I think both are probably going to see time. That's just how baseball works. Somebody's going to get hurt. Um, but that rotation healthy is maybe top 3 in the NL. Like
That's so
that's a
good.
good rotation.
It's a great
Four
rotation.
four of those guys are projected to be in the top 20 for strikeouts in the NL.
Yep.
Green, Abbott, Lodolo, and Singer. And then Burns, I think, was 30th on that list. Like that's you can't really ask for a more consistent rotation than that. It's all about injuries for them.
Yeah. Totally.
5, we got the Brewers. The second half of Red Sox Midwest. They may be running 3 former Red Sox in their rotation by the end of the year. Brandon Woodruff, obviously the number 1 there. Quinn Priester, the second we dealt him, figured out how to pitch and was just super consistent all year long for them. Mizorowski was the stud call-up. I forget what injury he had mid-season, but that kind of threw him off a little bit. I expect him to come out and just deal this season. Then you have Kyle Harrison, Chad Patrick, Shane Drohan. Harrison and Drohan are the former Red Sox there. They're all going to start games for Milwaukee. I think they're one of the deepest rotations. If they lose 1, 2, 3 guys to injury, it's not really going to affect them all that much.
Yep.
Guys can just fill in there. And you have so many dart throws at the back. Like Kyle Harrison's a lottery ticket.
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely a lottery ticket.
4, I've got the Cubs. They maybe did the most in the NL to improve their rotation in the offseason. Cade Horton had a breakout after the All-Star break last year. He went 8-1 with a 1.03 through 61 innings after the break last year. If you get half of that into the season, especially once Justin Steele returns from the elbow surgery, that 1-2 is pretty fearsome. Then you have Matthew Boyd, who was solid for them last year. You traded for Edward Cabrera from Miami, almost said Milwaukee, from Miami. Solid pitcher, and Shota Imanaga was your opening day starter last year. He's now that's a solid rotation to me. They made a bunch of improvements. I think the Cubs are going to win that division this year.
I need your advice on Shota Imanaga because he is one of the potential keepers I have in my fantasy baseball league. But I also
He's going to eat innings.
I know he is, but innings are not the problem. I need him dead. He had 144 innings last season. The problem is he only got 233 fantasy points, and that's not enough.
He's just not flashy. Like I'm not scared giving the ball to him. I'm like confident.
I got to keep. I've got to find a way to make this work because I've got Gosman, Johan Duran, and I have to keep. Is there anybody there I said that you would disagree with?
Well, John, I say the Braves weren't top 10.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is.
I didn't have them not top 10. They're actually next on my list.
I have Hunter Green, Johan Duran, Nick Lodolo, and Kevin Gosman that I have to keep.
Yep,
I have to keep. That's 4 out of my 6.
Questions there.
That's 4 out of my 6 keepers. I only have 6. And then I have Rafi Devers, Steve Kwan, Taylor Ward, and Bryson Stott, who are all like JP Crawford is on there. Like I can only take 2 of those. And one of them's got to be Devers, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You can't not keep Rafi.
Is Taylor Ward going to dash in Cleveland? Or is Steve Kwan going to keep Steve Kwan? Steve Kwan.
I like Taylor Ward.
We're going Taylor Ward. That's it. Done. Keepers are set. I'm ready for my draft. I'm not happy about this, but it is what it is.
You can find pitchers. Even in free agency, somebody comes up.
It's not pitchers, it's hitters. You can't find pitchers in this league. Everybody drafts pitchers, or everybody trades keepers. Everybody's pitchers. So they're so hard to get a good rotation.
There's always, for sure, but there's always somebody that comes up because of an injury and ends up popping off, and
Yeah,
then all of a
you could
sudden they're
stream.
a staple in a team's rotation. Yeah.
Sorry, I derailed this because we were talking about it, and then I got thinking about fantasy baseball.
All right, you're
And
good. There's
man,
a good little break before the top three,
let's go
the
top three.
medals. Number 3, I have the Braves. This one I
Bravos.
have an asterisk to or next to because I think like if one thing happens, they flip to like D-backs, Padres, Pirates territory. Like that.
Right.
This is expecting that Schwellenbach comes back, that Strider's the same guy, that Chris Sale stays healthy and performs up to the contract that you just gave him. Same thing with Lopez coming back from the injury. Um, but the Braves fully healthy, I think, is the top 3 staff in the NL.
I agree.
Sale, Strider, Schwellenbach, that's like 3 potential Cy Young candidates depending how a season goes. Schwellenbach will open the season on the 60-day IL, so maybe we're not looking at him coming back to like what, May at the earliest,
Mm-hmm.
sometime once the weather gets warm. If fully healthy is a top 5 rotation, but without a lot of the depth that some of these other teams like the Cubs and Milwaukee and who's another one, the D-backs, like they don't have that type of depth with the Braves. And when you're relying on what is he, 38 now? 38-year-old Chris Sale to be your
Your
true
guy.
number one, it's scary to me. I love Chris Sale, but like that I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket. And Spencer Strider's been hurt. That's what he does. He gets hurt.
He
He
is very
deals and
much
then
hurt.
gets hurt.
I have our baseball league, our Funzy baseball league, pinned. We have four
I don't
people
think I
in it.
joined that yet.
We have four
I need
people in the
to.
league. We need to get it up to. I would like it to be at 10. 10 would be great. So if you're interested for fun, fantasy baseball league, learn the game, maybe have a little more enjoyment, figure some more rooting interest wouldn't be a bad thing. So let's go on and join, compete against us. Number 2, who do we have?
The Philadelphia Phillies, and this is without Ranger Suarez.
God, they're so good.
How nasty would that rotation be? And also, Zach
So
Wheeler isn't factored into this really because
they're so good, man.
there's so many question marks with him. He's apparently doing well in rehab from the thoracic outlet decompression surgery he had back in September, but he's not expected to be ready for opening day.
Yeah,
The Phillies are probably going to be a little extra cautious with him because you know you're probably a playoff team unless you have some sort of meltdown like the Braves did last season.
you can be
Um,
cautious. You can afford.
Exactly. And you have guys like Tywin Walker and Andrew Painter who they refused to get rid of this offseason. A lot of people were after Andrew Painter. They were like, no, we're holding on to him. This is why, because Zach Wheeler wasn't going to be ready and he's going to get his big league shot. Taiwan Walker's obviously been a staple of several rotations now. Aaron Nola has had some of the best seasons in Phillies history when it comes to pitching. And Christopher Sanchez and the Jesus Lizard were nasty last year.
Yes, sir.
This is a rotation that could afford to lose a guy like Ranger Suarez and still be the second best rotation in the NL. Phillies are nasty.
Love it.
Number one, everyone knew this was coming. The Los Angeles Dodgers. You can't have a rotation
What?
of Yamamoto, Glasnow, Otani, Roki Sasaki, have Blake Snell be hurt and like not even miss a beat.
But I thought
That
Roki
rotation is
Sasaki
disgusting.
wasn't any good anymore. He had a bad outing, and everybody was like, "This guy's awful."
No, he's gonna be nasty. He's
He's
fine.
fine. I'm being
He's not
facetious.
Yamamoto,
No.
but he's a solid MLB starter. And then you have Glasnow's a Cy Young candidate. Yamamoto, obviously. Shohei, if you're pitching every fifth game, is a Cy Young candidate. And then the Dodgers have this ability to just find people. They always have somebody waiting in the wings that has a crazy spin rate, throws high 90s, and you're like, where the fuck did that guy come from? It was Emmett Sheehan last year. I'm sure they'll find somebody this year, whether it's Justin Robleski, River Ryan. Um, and people are going to get hurt on the Dodgers. That's another thing with that rotation, whether it's Snell, Glasnow, whoever it may be. Um, but the good teams always have somebody waiting in the wings, and that's what the Dodgers do.
That's it. We made it to the end. We've got one thing left to go. Jack loves his Dodgers. Poor Jack. I feel a little bit for Jack in that every time, um,
He's a Dodger fan. Why?
every time, every time the baseball gets rolling, It's like everybody unites for this one, like, fuck the Dodgers moments, and nobody remembers that Jack is there. Poor Jack is just like,
Oh, in the Discord, I
yes.
got you.
It's like, hey, yay. But also,
Yeah, no.
also fuck your Dodgers. Stop deferring money.
Yeah.
You
One
bitch.
of my OG co-hosts, shout out Meech, biggest Dodgers fan I know,
Yeah.
and he like hearing from him. It's just a totally different world. Like you live in a different planet when it comes to baseball. It's crazy. Love him to death, though.
You got a Stone Stories for us?
I do.
Figured you might. Makai
Always
Lemon showed
do.
up to his. I'm just kidding.
No, it's Sean McDermott, actually.
Oh, amazing.
Sean McDermott, 36 years old from Pennsylvania, the Pocono area. On Friday, the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office in New Jersey said it had filed charges against one Sean McDermott of Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania.
All right.
Uh, McDermott is charged with second-degree attempted aggravated arson, third-degree attempted arson, fourth-degree recklessly creating a risk of widespread injury or damage. McDermott made national headlines after Pocono Mountain Regional Police said he had burned down his home and 3 connecting townhomes last month. McDermott stated that he needed to kill the spiders within the residence. A witness said to investigators. Could you guess what was in his pockets?
I'm gonna go with drugs, Your Honor.
You'd be correct. Actually, when he was arrested, there was no drugs per se, but paraphernalia with residue, and that's enough. Those spiders were CGI, Your Honor. Crystal generated images. Before first responders could figure out what happened, McDermott drove off in a U-Haul truck, reports said. Before the U-Haul truck, he was a witness, which investigate this man. He said that they kept putting out small fires after McDermott continued to light them. Call the fucking police, brother. Call somebody. If there's more than one fire, like, who knows? Your buddy's fucked up. Hey, starts a fire. It happens. You know, I've fucking thrown something I burned in the oven in the trash quickly and been like, I probably shouldn't have done that. Bag starts smoking. We've been there. Like, once is okay. As long as it's quelled and everything's fine,
You're good to
no
go.
harm, no foul. But if he's setting fires multiple times, like, we got to do something about that. We can't just hang around. That guy absolutely had the same drugs in his pockets. You can't convince me otherwise.
I would agree.
Calling him a witness is crazy. That's an accomplice. It appears that McDermott fled the fires and drove to New Jersey. 2 days after the spider fires, Bergen County prosecutors said they connected him to an attempted arson at an East Rutherford hotel. On Wednesday morning, staff of the residence smelled burning from inside one of the guest rooms. They found burning clothes and a pot on the stove and shut off the stove before the fire spread, prosecutors said. McDermott was not there. He put a bunch of clothes in a pot on the stove and dipped.
Amazing.
I also want to know how he was starting these fires to kill the spider. Like, was he going straight lighter and aerosol can? Was it a little more like?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that would be kind of fun, right? Just like,
That's got to be the go-to.
um,
We've been there. I
I
had
would.
left a soda can in here one time that I didn't know was around. It got lost, and I fucking some ants show up, and they're like, "Why are these here?" Find the soda can. We've burned some ants in our day, you know.
Of
Everybody is
course, yeah,
magnifying glass, lighter, whatever it
100%.
may be, but there was no way there were real spiders.
No,
There's no shot. This guy, the Mohawk, dead giveaway.
dead giveaway. He's done. Uh, we made
30
it to.
something years old, rocking a Mohawk. Of course, you're committing arson crimes.
We started a little late. Appreciate everybody for with us. Don't baseball disco or as we get into fantasy baseball season. And we'll be back again next Wednesday, hopefully on time. We'll see. I don't know. Let's figure this shit out. That's Dubs. I'm Armchair. We'll see you next week here. Peace.